This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here just outside Carcassonne with none other than Jérôme Joseph. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now, we are here at your domain, a domain that you purchased reasonably recently. Tell us a little bit about this property.
The domain Calmel Joseph is situated in the continental part of the Corbière appellation, not very far, 10 minutes from Carcassonne. So the situation is a little bit particular because it's situated at 250 to 300 meters. So we are not very far from appellation like Limoux, Cabardès and Malper, and it's why we have 8 hectares of Pinot Noir on the domain. So
Pinot Noir is not something there's too much of planted here.
Not in the Corbière appellation.
Yeah.
In Limoux, where we are producing sparkling wines, yes, it's quite usual. And because the climate is cooler, it's more, you have some Atlantic influence in terms of climate. But it's true that as soon as you are going near the coast, on the Mediterranean part of the appellation, the Pinot Noir is completely unusual, yes, for sure.
And you were saying that the vegetation changes across the property as you go more towards the Atlantic vegetation and trees and plants and the like, and then you have the Mediterranean side over this side.
Yes, that's right, yes. We are just on the border, in fact. So we have a part of the domain which is with a certain type of trees and vegetation. It shows that we are changing, the climate is changing. As soon as you are leaving Carcassonne direction Toulouse, you will see that the vineyard stopped and different other type of agriculture is starting.
Now you're known for being a micro-négoçiant. How would you say the way that you go about doing things at your company is different from what we mostly see elsewhere?
The difference that we have tried to build now from the past 10 years with Laurent is a négoce based on parcel selection. What does it mean? It means that we have, if we take one appellation, for example Saint-Chinian or Faugère, we have 3 different partners there, and we are producing a parcel of Syrah in one place, a parcel of Grenache or Carignan in another place, and on the third place, for example, another Carignan. And the idea is to make a follow-up of the vineyard, the way of agriculture, of culture of the vineyard. Then after the date of harvest, after we are taking the grapes, doing our own vinification inside of this domain, and after we work on the blend, and we send a truck in order to pick the wines already made in order to bottle in a special bottling chain. So it means that we have a follow-up from the beginning up to the end of the bottling, which is a little bit different than a traditional négoce, which is buying wines already made, already blended. So it's different. It's something which is not new really, because we have that in Burgundy or Rhône, but it's quite new for the region Languedoc-Roussillon, yes.
And you said you're making around about 25 different labels right now.
That's right, yes.
That's quite a portfolio you have.
Yes, it's quite a large portfolio, yes.
And what's the average annual production?
In total bottles we are producing more or less 800,000, 900,000 bottles.
Wow, that's interesting. And your biggest markets for all those bottles?
It depends on the year, but usually UK market is quite important for us. Netherlands, Belgium, sometimes China.
Okay, all right. And what about your domestic market?
So domestic market is yes, talon d'Achille. You say in English? No. Yes, you say that? No, I don't think so. But anyway, it's the history of the company. We have created the company in 1995. So and we have started to promote the wines of Languedoc-Roussillon, but in foreign countries. So it's true that we have worked in the past 20 years more on the foreign countries than on the domestic market. Since we have bought in 2015 this domain, it was normal to start on the domestic market. So we have invested in order to be distributed more and more in the traditional distribution in France. So we increase, but it's not an easy market. It's not an easy market.
So as well as making wines from what one would consider classic varietals for the region, you also make some rather interesting historical and almost forgotten grape varietals into single varietal wines.
Yeah, yes, I see what you are talking about. Yes, in Villa Blanche range, yes, we have two ranges. One is we say noble varietals, which is international grape varietals, quite known varietals like Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Sauvignon Blanc. We have one which is a little less known, which is the Marcelin. It's quite typical, but it's a cross between Cabernet Sauvignon and Grenache, very deep in color, quite similar to the Alicante du Boucher, something like this. But it's true that we have started antique grape varietals from the region, quite unknown, and they are traditional from this region. One is red, is called Picpoul Noir, so it's similar to the Picpoul d'Épinay, which is done with Picpoul Blanc, Picpoul White, and we have Picpoul Noir. Okay, so we do a wine, Picpoul Noir, and after the second one is Terre Blanc, so it's a grape varietal as well, typical from our region. And just for the anecdote, for the history, it's used for the Noy Prat, one of the basic grape varietal used for the white wine in the Noy Prat is the Terre Blanc. So this is the two, yes, quite unusual grape varietals that we produce.
How would you describe the wine that can be made from those two varietals?
For the red, I would say that is very fruity, not as sweet as the Senso, for example, but is light and a lot of fruitness, a little bit like the Gamay. A lot of people compare, yes, in terms of taste, the Picpoul Noir to the Gamay or a little bit the Senso. The Terre Blanc, it's a white wine which is produced near Sète, not very far from the sea. It's a wine as well which is used perfect with seafood and oysters. So it's a very crispy wine, a little bit of Sauvignon, salty at the end of the mouth. So very pleasant. It's two wines, easy to drink and very pleasant on the side of a bar, I would say.
I've noticed you've been garnering some quite excellent awards and ratings from the international press. How important are those ratings to you?
But the awards are important. Yes, they are important. In fact, if you have a good award one time, it's not important. But if you have good awards regularly on different wines, it means that the average quality that you propose is qualitative. So, yes, it's important to be noted, to be tasted by different journalists, by different critics, by different sommeliers, in order to have the idea, the notes, and yes, the analysis of our production by different people, even foreign people, French people. Any kind of critic is important. So yes, we are very attentive.
I understand.
To these notes, yes.
Well, Jérôme, thank you very much for taking us on a tour of your lovely property here today and spending time with Good Food Revolution.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks. Bye for now.
Yeah, thank you.